Welcome to the press conference following the informal leaders video conference on COVID coordination. You might have seen that we have published a statement on behalf of the 27 leaders on our website following the recent attacks in France. I invite you all to switch on your cameras and we turn to the President of the European Council, please.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. First of all, let me express our full solidarity with France and the people of France on the recent terrorist attacks. I would like to express my deepest condolences to the families of the victims. We stand together, the European family united, for our democratic values and freedoms. Tout d'abord, je voudrais exprimer.
I wanted to express my complete solidarity with France and the French people, once again victims of a barbarous terrorist act. We are fully determined to stand together, united, the European family, to defend freedom, democracy and the rule of law. I'm now going to move on to the topic of our video conference this evening, our struggle against COVID-19. The main political message that I wish to send out this evening is as follows. We are united because we're all in the same boat. This is a difficult fight. It's a severe crisis, a second wave, which once again is testing us and testing our citizens all around Europe.
The numbers are increasing everywhere in Europe. Our hospitals and health workers are again under pressure, and that's why many leaders have announced lockdown and restrictions. In such hard times, cohesion and solidarity matter more than ever. We call on all the Europeans to take care of themselves and of each other. Our thoughts tonight, first, go to all those who are suffering, to the most vulnerable in our societies. To all of them, I want to express our greatest sympathy and convey our support. A big thank you also to our medical teams that are doing an extraordinary job in such difficult circumstances. Today, with the leaders during the video conference, we had the occasion to focus on testing and tracing policies and on vaccines, because those issues are crucial not only in the short term, but also in the mid and the longer term. We shared our experiences and we discussed how to help each other. Testing and tracing are key to limiting the spread of the virus. It's crucial because it will allow us to better control the situation. We exchanged on how to advance a common approach to the mutual recognition, deployment and use of rapid tests. This would reduce the negative impact on free movement and on the functioning of our single market, which we absolutely need to preserve. Yesterday, the Commission presented a recommendation on testing strategies, and we will work actively on that basis to strengthen the coordination. On tracing, we encourage all Member States to participate in this initiative on interoperability between apps put on the table by the Commission, and another goal to facilitate tracing is the establishment of a common passenger locator form on which we should continue to make progress. We also had the occasion to discuss the possibility of harmonizing the duration of quarantine for those infected with COVID. Nous avons aussi abordé la question des...
We also dealt with the question of vaccines, and we're fully convinced that on the basis of the initiatives that the European Commission started and for which the Commission has shared the information, its latest information with Europe's leaders, we will anticipate the moment when one or several vaccines are available. And there was a very clear shared wish to prepare our cooperation so that our vaccination strategy is efficient when vaccines are ready. And we focused on 4 subjects where we've already made some progress and we wish to continue our progress. Firstly, we need to make sure that we are agreed, and we talked about this around the table, on the principle of just distribution between member states, fair distribution on the basis of contracts that the Commission has signed, and with a view to future contracts which will be signed in the weeks to come, we hope. Secondly, we exchanged views rather to agree on who to prioritise when it comes to vaccinations in our populations. Some member states have already started to prepare this idea and looked at which target groups to deal with first of all. Vulnerable people, people who have chronic illnesses, those who work in healthcare, for example. And the idea is to harmonise as soon as possible on that approach. The third subject relates to logistics. Now, we hope that the vaccines will be available in the months to come, but when they are, there'll be an enormous logistics job to do in order to roll out the vaccines as efficiently as possible. As you know, some vaccines may need just 1 dose. Others may need 2 doses, and that will have a knock-on effect on logistics. Also, they need to be stored in different ways. Possibly that will need to be looked at, of course, in terms of storage and transport. And also we need to communicate on vaccines too. We think it's going to be important to have the right strategies in place to fight fake news and misinformation and to guarantee transparency and make sure that there's proper monitoring on side effects, because we all are aware that there's a lot of research and development gone into this and financial investment, and we need to make sure that given that we might be able to have a vaccine deployed after just 1 year rather than 10 years, that's quite a feat. But we've seen that everybody wants to work as quickly as possible within Europe's institutions, and there's a political will as well. Europe's leaders want to be politically involved to make sure that the right decisions are taken and that we manage to anticipate.
To tackle an important topic, the economic recovery. And this is a clear message. We hope that it will be possible in the very short term to decide on the implementation of the package that we have agreed in July, because we all understand that it's very important to make progress in order to limit the spread of the virus, which is a very important measure in order to limit the economic and the social damage, but it's also important to implement what we have decided. Vous l'avez vu, cette vidéoconférence.
So, this video conference, as we'd announced a few weeks ago, was the opportunity for us to have an exchange of views, and over and beyond that, to harmonise our European viewpoints on the basis of our convictions, so that we strengthen our fight against this crisis. This is a very painful crisis, it's a heavy crisis, and it's an unprecedented one. And all we can do is close ranks, not just with speeches, not just with words, but with actions as well. And we need to take the right decisions to meet the challenge of defending Europe's citizens and meeting the requirements to also relaunch our economies and support our social models, to make sure that in the weeks and months to come we can all together make progress in the interests of the 450 million European citizens and in partnership with our partners around the world. Thank you.